if you have a micro penis, there's really no reason for you to be here. There's no reason for you to not be in chastity. There's no reason for you to be out here trying to date. Even if they're not wiped off the face of the earth, they only need to be bottoms.
This world that I like more than checks. Money. All I really wanna see is the money. I don't really need a D, I need the money. All a bad bitch need is the money. I got bands in the coop.
Hello, Damnation, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. And today we are going to be going over Beta Bitch Steven's chastity. So for those of you who voted on what should happen to Steven, it came out to be chastity. I had someone from my channel here, a subscriber from the channel. She opted to see him in chastity. I also put it on Snapchat, my Instagram, and Twitter as a poll to see who would like to see this beta bitch in chastity. And along with other things, eating cum, I think it was, it was getting pegged, which I can't do. He's in a completely different country. And chastity ended up being the one that everyone wanted to see. So he has given me an update. He's been in chastity for about 2 weeks now, a little over 2 weeks. He's been in chastity since April 1st. And he sent me a little message. He said that he really, really loves being in chastity. He loves that it gives him the feeling of focusing on me and tributing me. He is going to be in chastity for 275 days, which is until the end of the year. So from April 1st until December 31st, 275 days. His little tiny disgusting thing will be, well, I mean, essentially it's a big clit. So chastity panties would have been better. Anyway, his penis is extra small, so it fits comfortably inside of the chastity for him. He's not potent, so he's impotent, which means he basically can't get an erection, and he doesn't have urges to have sex and things like that. However, he did say that the chastity is stopping him from touching himself. So I'm guessing he does that when he doesn't have chastity, I guess if he's bored and it's just there. It's not like his hand hits it. It's pretty tiny. If you haven't seen it, go to my Patreon. Go check that video out. You will see it there. Yeah, so it really brings out the submissive in him. And that is all I needed to hear. Because that means that he will focus on his job, which is giving me all his fucking money. That's his job. That's what he's supposed to be doing. He does not need to be focused on anything besides going to work and sending me his check. Okay? Good. Now, he does say that he doesn't think he'll be able to concentrate being in chastity for so long. And that's honestly just not my problem. So he'll just have to deal with that. However, I do have a list of things that I want him to do over the next 8 months. And having him go in and out of chastity is one of those things. This is something that I thought long and hard about that I wanted him to do. Because, yeah, I could have him locked up in chastity for 275 days. Big whoop. But I really, really want to test this little bitch. And I'm going to let him take it off. And we'll see what happens. So he would also like to know how I feel about having him in chastity. Well, Steven, to be honest, I'd rather you send me the key for your chastity. I just know it's not really viable now with coronavirus and everything going on. But I'd rather wear that little tiny cop controller around my neck. having a beta bitch in Chastity is really interesting, honestly. And it's only been about 2 weeks, so I'm waiting to see how it develops and what happens and how it's going to change his behaviors and his tributing behaviors, and see how happy he really, really wants to make me being in Chastity, or see if he begs to get out. So I'm really waiting to see that. I feel like if I were just a Chastity dom and I like to have guys just in Chastity, I would probably have, at the most, maybe 5 or 6 in Chastity. I think it'd be easier to have a group of little beta bitches in Chastity and keep them in line and have them tributing and have them doing the tasks that I want to do because they're focusing on it. And even if it's a new one, that way I get to train him from never being in Chastity to being a very devout, submissive Mistress Aurora bitch. So, and that would be a long process because when you haven't been in Chastity before, you still get erections, it hurts, it's a whole thing. So I feel like I would like to have maybe 3 little bitches that have been in Chastity before, and maybe 2 that I could train. That would be fun. And once they get used to it, I train them so they could be impotent. I mean, if you have a micro penis, there's really no reason for you to be here. There's no reason for you to not be in Chastity. There's no reason for you to be out here trying to date and reproduce and do anything like that. They need to be wiped off the face of the earth. They only need to be bottoms. They need to get rid of their big clit, or if they want to keep their big clit, fine. But they don't need to be using it. And that's how I feel about Chastity. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe as always. Hit the bell, follow me on social media. If you want to see Steven's micro penis, make sure you go to Patreon, check that out. And I will see you all next time on Dom Diaries. Bye.